Sam. I'm just looking at your ideas for your Facebook ads. I like that you're using your own graphic design side business as the company. So the main goal of the ads is obviously to make you money, so that means getting clients. So audience segments, we need to work on these a little bit. I think, business owners are probably going to be your main audiences, but what type of businesses do you think are going to be your main audience? I mean, one way of segmenting out audiences is by like thinking about demographics. So sometimes there's a male business owner, sometimes there's female business owners. Some of them are older, some of them are newer or younger, I guess. Probably most of them will be local businesses. So in your own mind, you'd kind of have to figure out what your audience segments are going to actually look like. I don't know if you take pictures too, like if you're a picture person. I guess you're saying this is graphic design, so I don't know. But maybe one thing what I was thinking, and I'll write it in here, is, so let's see here. What's it called? Western Nomad. So the business is Western Nomad. Goal of ads is to get clients, make money, right? Audience segments, all are going to be for local businesses, but let's see. Let's just do this the easy way. There's probably in reality better audience segments than what I'm going to be giving you now, but I'll just give you an example of what I'm looking for. So male, number one, might be male business owners. These are probably going to be local business owners, that are run by males. You could feature social proof in your ad. So that means featuring a maybe like a logo that you designed with with the owner of the business you designed for, and then maybe there's some testimonial text from that local business owner that says how great working with you was. Keep the text short so you don't clutter up the ad. And then in your text, in your mock-up text, elaborate on, maybe your headline or the primary text might be, does your local business need a logo? And then maybe some other text might be like, meet a satisfied customer. So showing that person's face, showing them with like some quote text off to the side saying, I worked with Sam on this logo. I'm so happy with it. It works really well on all of our promotional items. Obviously keep it kind of short because it has to be on the graphic and you don't want to clutter the graphic up too much, but we can look at a testimonial ad. And social proof is something that came out of that article that we read on like the tips and tricks for ads that sell on Facebook. Social proof is really important. It helps people be like, oh, well, he had a good experience, so that means I'm probably going to have a good experience. So it kind of takes away some of the fear. So, I mean, they look somewhat like, these are kind of cheesy ones, but this one's not too bad. So this guy is here, and then you could have your logo here, and you could say logo designed by Sam, or by Nomad. And then you could have, Nomad's designs, working with Sam was wonderful, blah, blah, blah. And then you could have like the name of the guy and then like, CEO of whatever company. And then you could have, your logo. You don't have to put your logo on the actual ad because you'll put that in when you make your mock-up. You'll put the logo like here when you make your mock-up. So you don't need to put that in the actual ad. But so that's what a testimonial ad would look like. I would suggest maybe going with a testimonial ad. Try to use some of the tips and tricks from the Ads That Sell article that I gave you. So if you haven't read that and taken the quiz, you probably should. Obviously read through the project worksheet a couple times too. I'm sure you did, but and then maybe for ad number 2, I'm going to finish this out. These are just ideas too. You can tweak them, but definitely read that article and try and bring in things from that article too. But like maybe another audience segment might be by gender, female business owners. You can, make these more specific if you can think of some, like female business owners that are that own like coffee shops or something. I mean, you could go even more specific, but so you could do like another, another social proof ad, maybe with featuring a female business owner. And then you could advertise like an illustration that you did. So a different type of, maybe not logo design, but maybe like an illustration for a t-shirt or something. Whatever you can come up with. This can be totally made up stuff. So ad number 3 could be more of a general ad, advertising for all local business owners. It's better to narrow down your audience segments into more specific audiences, but since I really don't know what your actual audience looks like where you live, that might be something that you can work on yourself. But maybe you think like coffee shops and clothing boutiques are going to be your main bread and butter, or maybe you're working for schools creating like t-shirts for the sports team, so you would focus it towards the schools. It just kind of depends on who you think your main bread and butter is going to be, and maybe you don't have specific audience segments yet because you're just starting out, so we can start broad and then narrow it down. But in this one, you can feature free somewhere in the ad. Maybe this is from the article. People love free things. You could do get 1 revision free with your design, or like something that you end up doing for clients. Maybe there's something you could add in there for free, like free sessions, free revision, 1 free revision. You don't want to give away too much though, because then you're not making money. So think of something that you can kind of give away, that you can throw in as a value to the customer, but something that's not going to break you either, break the bank. Maybe a free revision, or maybe a free thumbnails, or free. I don't know what else you would put in there, but it kind of depends on what you're designing too. Maybe this would be for logos. And maybe we want to make this all caps. So yeah, something like that. I think that would be a little bit more specific. And then the imagery in these ads, I mean, so a man would be in this ad, and that would be kind of, supposedly targeting male business owners. This would have, you know, a female in it. And then, you know, this is for general, so it doesn't really matter who you use in this. But if you use like local imagery, like local, if you use local imagery in your ad, that's going to work really well with local people because they'll recognize it and be like, oh yeah, that resonates with me. So that's another tip from the article. Featuring free somewhere in there is another tip from the article. So basically this is kind of more or less what I was looking for. I think you need to work on your imagery and your ads. Like this one is just your logo. So, I mean, that's just so general that it's not really targeting a specific audience. So I would maybe scrap that imagery idea and go with something a little bit more specific to target that specific audience. This is one of the ads you designed, but it makes me think that this Facebook ad is geared to get me to go to this show. So it's a little confusing to feature your own work in an ad because it makes it look like this is an ad for Bear River Young Life car show, whatever it is. So doing that is going to be confusing. So I would say switch up your ideas here. Also, this is a nice illustration, but it's not clear what this ad is about right away. So I would say maybe going with something more along these lines of what I've told you in this feedback video is going to be a better idea for you. So I'm still going to give you credit for, well, some credit for doing the thumbnails, but they just really aren't. There really wasn't a clear audience segment, and it's not really your fault. Like, this stuff is kind of hard. I guess I'll just give you the full credit, but because you did do the work, it's just you need to come up with something a little bit more specific as far as your audience segments go. So anyway, hopefully this is helpful for you. We'll talk to you later.